Let's go. Take a sip of water. Okay, now we started Pikachu, and there are also Raichu. Yeah, these two are definitely different Pokemons. Should I put like Raichu Alolan? I don't think so. That Pokemon is rare, right? Yeah, it's rare. It's like event or something. It's not huntable right now. So we're gonna start with Pikachu. Pikachu is doo-doo. It's not worse than Raichu though. I can tell you that much. But it wouldn't be fair if I put it in like high tier, probably C. But it's not fair, or even D to be honest. I mean, Pikachu is very hard to use. What are its two kits? So you have the physical set with Volt Tackle, Focus Punch, Knock Off, Extreme Speed, and Fake Out, which are all like good moves, you know, good moves. But the fact that it's so frail makes it very hard to hit the field. If you're on the special set, you know, Volt Switch Thunderbolt, it does have to have Hidden Power Ice. Hidden Power Ice, Grass Knot, Signal Beam. Not a lot to work with, to be honest. And even on mixed as well, you know, this Pokemon can do anything. Ability Lightning Rod, which is not bad, but yeah, I can't say that it's better than Magnetric. Even regular Magnetric, to be honest. So as much as my sister loves Pikachu, which is probably irrelevant at this point, I'm putting an F. Yeah, sure, put an F. Nothing is gonna go wrong there. It's just that you just can't use Pikachu that freely. If you use it, probably because you love it, you know? If you love it, then you use it. That's all that matters, right? You don't need to you need it to be like viable or something. If you want to use it, just use it. And it wouldn't be fair for Electrode even to put it like in D tier. Yeah, this Pikachu is definitely not that good. Now on to Raichu. I think Raichu is just worse than Pikachu, to be honest. You give up the Light Ball, so you can hold some sort of other items, and also you have Nasty Plot, you know, and boost your attack, your special attack. But it's just so much worse. It's because its attack stat is so low. Even one Nasty Plot, with one Nasty Plot, is you barely like out damaging the special attack Pikachu, and you don't have your physical thing is bad. And yeah, well, as I think as is worse than Pikachu, I put in F as well. You guys saying C? No way. Never played Raichu in my life. Well, some people use it before. I'm pretty sure I saw someone using it. The bad thing about it is that I just like Pikachu more, and if Pikachu is F, this Raichu is also F. I'm biased. No, but yeah, really, you can't just like put a Raichu in and get away with it. It's so bad. Because its stat is just so underwhelming. I mean, can you imagine your pre-evolution, which is Pikachu, which is out damaging you? That sucks. You need one turn to set up. You probably has more bulk. But yeah, no, I just can't justify using those. And I don't really like Raichu, so yeah. Next up is Arcanine. So Arcanine is interesting. It's interesting. It has Intimidate. If you run like offensive set, it can probably do something. It has Close Combat, Wild Charge, Flip Blitz. Honestly, not bad. But it's more like C tier if you do so. I think its defensive set is better than its offensive set, which is gonna be Will-O-Wisps. Will-O-Wisps, you know, Morning Sun. You're gonna run Roar, you're gonna run Toxic, Flamethrower. You're gonna also run Close Combat for the Chansey trying to come in. Hello, Theo. And also, yeah, it's probably underrated, but it also makes sense. You know, it is a fire type, so to run it defensively, you probably have to keep in mind that your opponent has rocks. But every time I use it, it's not that bad, to be honest. It does have Intimidate, which is a great ability. It checks Lopunny and Metagross, actually. So those are two big things that they can never 2H kill them. And with Intimidate, if you tail up with like Lander or something, you can just get a cheeky Will-O-Wisp up. Yeah, honestly, not that bad. Is it as good as a B tier Pokemon would be? Probably not. I'll put in C. Arcanine. Yeah, Arcanine. Maybe it has like a more reliable recovery. Hello, Vips. Yeah, more like reliable recovery move like Slack Off or something like that. I don't know why I learned Slack Off or whatever. But Morning Sun is just bad, yeah, because with the amount of Rain Team and also Sand Team, not Sand Team, but like particularly just a Tyranitar or a Hippo or something, and you're gonna be like in trouble, and it's very hard to heal if so, because under weather, Morning Sun only heals 50%. I mean 25%. 50% efficiency. Yeah, normally it heals 50. Yeah, it's probably hard to phrase that, but yeah, you kind of get my point. And yeah, the Arcanine just sees here. Some people might think that's F tier because you never see it before, but yeah, I honestly think it's a good Pokemon. But yeah, let's move on to Alakazam. The regular Alakazam is sadly outclassed by its Mega form. It's because, well, if you were to use Alakazam, might as well use a Mega because it's 100% better. Why would you use Alakazam in that way? And if you use regularly, you have to have like another Mega. It's not bad though. It's Magic Guard, so you can run Focus Sash. It does learn Counter, which can be used to lure in like Weavile or like some Pursuit Trapper like Tyranitar and stuff. But you also have Focus Blast, so that's unreliable, yeah? Focus Blast, Psyshock, Psychic, Recover, basically everything that an Alakazam is gonna be its Mega Form, but the Mega Form is just better. But how to judge the normal one is still a mystery to me. You can run Focus Sash, as I said, can also run Life Orb, yeah? Life Orb. It has a vast move pool, you basically run anything. Nice coverage, pretty frail, but its power might be able to like compensate for that. No, hello, Numami. So yeah, I'm not sure how to rank this one. I'm not gonna put it in A though because I don't think it's as good as Gengar. And if we put Gengar in A, Gengar is just much better. I know Alakazam like, you know, faster, probably a little bit higher special attack, right? I don't know. Is it? Yeah, higher special attack. It's a Magic Guard, great ability. But I just don't think the matchup suits as well. And I'm putting in B. You know, solid. Nice powerhouse. It's good get outclassed by its Mega Form, and I just don't think it's good enough for A. I have a lot of Pokemon on A in the last tier list with common Pokemon that I think that are just better than this Alakazam. And yeah, I'm putting B then for now, at least. If any changes happen to the meta, like next month maybe, then I'm gonna, you know, move things up. You know, I know some guys that just mourning for Electrode right now, right? Wink wink. Anyway, so we move on to Mega Alakazam. It's actually pretty down here, so move up here for let's just see. Yeah, it looks pretty small, to be honest. Hey, sub Aldo. Không hiểu mà xem những người tài vậy. Chắc xem đặt vào tier là được rồi. Sorry, I was speaking Vietnamese. Yeah, it looks pretty small here, but yeah, Mega Alakazam, solid Pokemon. Actually saw it less recently though. I don't know why. Probably because I use it less. And I still think that this Mega is strong. And you can argue that it has like a check, like an obvious check in Muck, right? A little Muck. But I don't think Muck can pick up the usage that it wants to be to check Alakazam. Well, especially when Alakazam is not used enough. It's not used enough. So Alakazam, what do you think about it? Well, every time we use it, it seems like always gonna be the star, right? It gets a lot of kills, even when it misses Focus Blast, and it's fine. it's gonna get like more kills for you in other games anyway. Sometimes it comes down to a 50-50 versus Weavile, because sometimes the HP is low, you die to Ice Shard. But you also don't want to switch out and have them pursuing you, right? So this one, I'm actually gonna make an exception. Normally I put it in A, but I'm gonna put it in S just because the amount of checks you have in the team right now is not really common, especially the Muck. It doesn't pick up usage. You have the Tornadoes. You have the Tornadoes with Assault Vest that can tank a Psychic, but if rocks are up, you definitely dies. This can also run Calm Mind, Side Shock, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball, a lot of coverage. You can run Calm Mind, send to bait in Chansey, and then you just kill it. There are a lot of things that could go wrong with what is supposed to be a check, like Tornadoes, who dies to Side Shock. So I'm putting S, and I honestly think it deserves it for now, because I don't think we have. I don't know, just Muck alone Muck, and it's not even like spawnable right now, right? So yeah, I'm putting S. That's fine. You have Focus Blast at this like most unreliable thing ever, which is something, which is something. But if it hits, it's like mega super S tier. But it doesn't hit, then it's still A tier. So I'm putting S right now, assuming you hit Focus Blast, which is lunatic. So this is why Mega Alakazam is, I don't think, as good as Clefable, because Clefable is more reliable. But I still put it in S because it's just super strong. Anyway, move on to Rapidash. Anyone used Rapidash before? I know someone that did. Rapidash is a horsey, a knight. Will you use it though? Will you use it? Guys, will you use it? What does it have? Swords Dance, Flame Charge, Drill Run, right? Drill Run, Flare Blitz. Basically, an Arcanine is just weaker. It is weaker than Arcanine. Is it as good as some of the D tier we put in here in the last episode? Did we put some nice Pokemon in D tier? I mean, we have Dugong there, and some Rapidash makes sense, but I just don't think Rapidash is enough. Maybe Ponyta and Little Cup. Guys screaming D. Yeah, maybe Ponyta and Little Cup is pretty good. I don't know you play that tier on like Pokemon Showdown, but it's still pretty good. It looks uglier than Arcanine. No. Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. If you remove the fire, then this horse looks like it's bald, right? It doesn't have any fur. That's gonna make it worse. Just because its mane is made out of fire, it looks cooler than what it should be. So if you remove all the fire, it's gonna be, imagine that, right? No, the shape always fur. Just don't do it. Okay, guys, my fault. Don't stop imagining. So back to the competitive side. Yeah, Swords Dance, Flame Charge. It can run like a defensive set too with Will Whips, but its ability is Flash Fire or Flame Body, right? So it's not exactly an Arcanine. It's like much weaker Arcanine. I don't think I put it in D actually. I'm gonna put it in F. I'll put it in F because I can't find a reason to use it, and it feels like we're gonna find like a better fire type Pokemon for the D tier eventually. So yeah, I put it in F right now. If you don't use it, then why use it? Sometimes it's pretty harsh for the Pokemon to have like a straight up being outclassed. Rapidash is one of those. It's not even like outclassed by one Pokemon. It got outclassed by a lot of mods. Even like Mega Charizard X with the defensive set. Impish Nature. I think that one's just miles better if you run defensive with this horse right here. Run offensive, bro, it's not that strong. Executor. We use it, right? It's Harvest ability. Got carried by Harvest so hard that you don't even recognize how weak it is. Yeah, it's straight up got carried by Harvest. So imagine Harvest on some of the top tier Pokemon. They're gonna get banned immediately. But because it's Executor, It looks interesting, but it might not be as good at, you know, as it seems to be. Executor. What does it have? It has Chlorophyll. So Chlorophyll is gonna carve it. It's gonna carve out a niche on it, and it's honestly not bad. You know, it doesn't have growth, which is sad. Why doesn't it have growth? It has like decent attack stat, not like decent, but like acceptable attack stat. Special attack is okay. It has Source Dance, which is interesting. Does it have Source Dance? Right? It does, right? Yeah, it does have Source Dance. You run it in Sun Team, but you're not gonna use it over something like Victory Bell or like Venusaur, for instance. It has Low Kick, Giga Drain, Leap Storm, all that stuff. Does it have Weather Ball? No, right? So you have to use Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire, yeah, no growth. That's a big minus right there. But him having like 2 nice ability like Chlorophyll and Harvest might just be enough to put in D tier. I'm putting in D tier right now, although there are not a lot of chances you're gonna see it. Because if you run in Sun, why use it? You do have a Venusaur overall, and this mod is Psychic type, so maybe if a Tyranitar comes in, and you certainly don't kill it with a Giga Drain at 4. You probably kills it with Low Kick though, to be fair. So I don't know. This one is also super slow for Sun standard for some reason. I don't know. So it's gonna get pursued by Weavile, probably, potentially. Yeah, I think D tier is fair. It's not as bad as, let's say, a Raichu, Pikachu, Rapidash. I still see people using it. The last Raichu and Rapidash, just not it. Yeah. Next up is regular Marowak. It's not Alolan because the Alolan one is rare. It's not uncommon. So there's no reason to use regular Marowak if you use it in Trick Room, right? Because unless Alolan Marowak is banned, which is not gonna happen because it's not that good. It has Self Rock, you know, cool. Ground type, you know, always good. Except for the fact that the other Marowak also has Lightning Rod, so that's like pretty much even out. Have to hold Thick Glove, and also it's not very impressive. If you use it instead of Marowak, Alolan, then you're gonna have some issue with your coverage. You have Earthquake, you have Stone Edge. I guess you are knockoff, you're on return, double edge, because it has Rock Head as well, so double edge is not gonna take any HP from you after being used. But that's a problem, right? It's not a ghost type, so Shadow Bone is just great because ghost offensive typing is just good. In Trick Room, you wanna hit them as hard as possible without predicting much, so ghost types just hit everything. A lot of things neutrally as well, and some of them are super effective, and it's pretty dang strong. So with the regular Marowak, you probably have to predict, because you only have Stone Edge and Earthquake, and Stone Edge at +2 doesn't even kill the Rotom. So what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Never use over the Marowak, and honestly, we're gonna have Rhyperior in this tier soon. Yeah. Rhyperior, so I don't know. I just don't see how you use this Pokemon nowadays. Outside of Trick Room, it sucks. Inside Trick Room, not a lot you can do with it. Put it in F tier, although it's very strong. But yeah, any reason to use it? No, not really. You're just crazy. Use regular Marowak. Even the Alolan Marowak has more fan favorite because its typing is cool, right? Ghost and Fire, just good offensive typing. The Rockhead Flablets, the Dream. Maybe one day the Marowak is gonna turn into like another form and just much worse. So we can claim that Marowak is not the worst Marowak form in the world, but it is. So sad. We need new gen. Yes, we do have new gens, but they just don't release Pokemon, that's all. In Pro. Anyway, Next Pokemon, Nicki Minaj, aka Fumesec Waifu, aka I'm never missing lovely kiss ever again. Is this Pokemon that good? If you hit all your lovely kisses. Has dry skin, right? Dry skin oblivious. The other ability you don't use, and with dry skin, I guess I've seen people use it before. So sometimes they do run Sash. So when when you heal back with dry skin, you might be able to get back your Sash. That is very unlikely though. You need 2 turns after rocks to get up to full HP. Yes, it's kind of weird. You know, yeah, it's a lovely kiss, and it does tend to freeze your Pokemon a lot for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I don't put it in F tier. It has Nasty Plot, Side Shock, Focus Blast, Ice Beam, but all you're gonna see is Ice Beam freezing your Pokemon, and that's it. Your Pokemon's dead. It's in the coffin now, and this Jing is just sending out kisses all over the places. You don't actually, you can't actually do anything about it though. If it just hits all the time, why? Even Focus Blast, you know, try to hit that. You can't, but he can. The one we all know, but he can. Not gonna put it in F tier because we actually saw it in action. Maybe this Pokemon got bopped in Pro for some reason. Some invisible buff, like always hitting a lovely kiss, always hitting Focus Blast. The freeze chance is higher than it should be. So I'll put it in D tier just because we see it more often because of one guy. That's pretty funny though. Okay, but I'll put it in D tier. You know, honestly, good enough. Side Shock, Focus Blast. Feels like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. But okay, let's just move on to Taurus, which is actually like a better mon, right? So Taurus, what do you have here? Taurus, Sheer Force, Body Slam, Rock Climb. We want to risk a little bit for like 5 more base power. I don't know why you use Rock Climb though. So Body Slam is better, yeah. Body Slam, Zen Headbutt, which is not common. No one uses that. Earthquake is more common. If we run Taurus, it's gonna be Earthquake, Body Slam, Ice Beam, and Fire Blast. And Fire Blast and Ice Beam are great moves because they tend to throw in the Garchomp or the Scizor, thinking that you are, I mean, you are physically oriented, but your special attack is also garbage. So they just, you know, just throw in Garchomp and Scizor. Why not? It makes sense, right? It makes sense. But sometimes you underestimate its damage, and the Fire Blast and the Ice Beam deals a lot of damage. And if you're like Scarf Landorus and trying to come in, you can predict and click Ice Beam and just dead. Even Body Slam deals a lot of damage. So Taurus is solid for what it's built to be. You know, at least back in the day it was pretty strong anyway. Its speed tier is not bad either. 350, which is a high speed tier. Yeah, honestly I think it's a good Pokemon, but it's as good as Alakazam. Definitely not. This is better than D tier, so C tier makes sense. See, yeah. Someone is getting their guesses right now. It's perfect. Perfecto. Reflecto. Next up, do you have a love-hate relationship for the Ditto? I really hate the Ditto that use Quick Claw because they just don't use Scarf. They think this is funny. No, I don't use it. But it's a more useful Pokemon than any of the F tier Pokemon because you can slap it on any team. It just doesn't work as well if you don't come up with any like solution for your team. Yeah, slapping the Ditto, why not? I mean, slapping in the Clefable might be better. Ditto is honestly, it's not a good Pokemon. You use it because it's funny. You know, copy your sweeper, you know, copy their sweeper and then you sweep them back, or you know, them copying back your sweeper and just sweep you. So it's not about your Ditto, it's about your opponent's team, right? So pretty much matchup fishing. It does very bad against balance. It does very badly against stall. Well, it's not bad. It's not bad against stall. It probably can stall out some PP, but yeah, it's gonna be an endless war. It beats stall probably after 10 years, maybe 10 years. The game lasts for 10 years, and yeah, it does beat stall. So we kind of go off that though. Ditto is reliable. It's like a reliable revenge killer for any setup sweeper. And as the meta right now, I saw a lot of offense, so it's probably better than in the past, yeah. But I just don't think it's a good Pokemon, because if you accept using Ditto, that means you can't come up with anything better for your team, and that's usually a bad sign. And you also sacrifice a lot of utility when you need to. It's more like, you know, when your opponent has something, it's good. You know, when your opponent doesn't have anything for you to copy and sweep them back, it's kind of bad. Even if you copy some sort of like offensive Pokemon in their team, pretty sure if they're balanced, they're gonna find a check for it anyway. And they know your set too. It's not like a random offensive Pokemon. They know your set because it's their Pokemon after all. Hi Jin, thanks for the PP ups the other day. Yeah, say hi to Jin. So yeah, the Baron Epture, not as good as people make it out to be. Probably overrated because people like it a lot. I don't like Ditto. When I build my team, I never consider Ditto. If I use Ditto, it's that meta has to be played with a lot of offense, and that meta is not the one I like, because offense is just, it doesn't take much effort to play offense. Really, not as much as Saw, and certainly not as much as Balance. So it's for an ideal world. I would love to not have Ditto in a high tier. It feels like Jing is not S tier. Well, I mean, well, you can't say that. You can't say that. No meme tier here. If I have a meme tier, it's gonna go into meme tier. And also with the Ditto and with the Pikachu as well, right? So yeah. Oh, music stop. Keep playing. So that out of the way. Ditto D tier, better than F tier. Yeah, I think that's a solid placement for it. Azumaru. So Azumaru is strong. And had it not been fairy typing, maybe it's not gonna be that good, yeah? But it's fairy typing. So it acts as a very decent immediate or like some emergency check for some of the dragons. If they just spam outrage, and it's supposed to be killing all your team. I'm Vietnamese. Yes, I am. And it's supposed to be killing all your team, and then you have a fairy type. Oh, great, fairy type. You even you are even immune to Draco Meteor. So Azumaru is great here. It's probably worse than it used to be though, because the meta is, I don't know what about like this month and the last month we saw a lot of offense, and Azu is kind of bulky. It does well in a situation where you get to come in a lot and then you just throw out ditch out moves. You are not fast. Azumaru is super slow, but somehow, you know, if in the right situation, you know, with the matchup and stuff, if had it not been for a lot of offense, it's actually faster than all its targets you want to hit it with. You're gonna choice ban with the play rough knockoff, superpower, aqua jet, liquidation. You want the waterfall for the flinch, and you can also run a niche set, which is going to be Sap Super. It does check one of the dangerous Pokemon in the meta right now, which is Superior. So yeah, it's honestly pretty flexible right here. Its only problem is just that it's slow. I mean, it's just slow, that's all. You hit pretty hard. You also have a cheesy set. And Azumaru Belgium. Yeah, Belgium is nice, but I don't think it's good nowadays because they kind of know what it does already. But sometimes it's still good, yeah. And the Belgium set is good because it has Belgium. So when you see an Azumaru, you tend to scout for the set, and if they are Belgium, you can't just switch out because you have to consider, what if your team dies to like an Azumaru after it belly jumps, so you can't switch out. And it turns out to be a bandit set, and it just kills your Pokemon straight up. And I think that's where its strength at. It's kind of like Charizard Y, you know. When you see a Charizard, you just don't know that it's X or Y, so you just make random switches, you know, scouting, assuming. For this Azu, it's like the same. With it having belly drum, is its 2 kit, so you just don't know. So if your team is like belly drum Azu weak, then sometimes it's kind of dubious to pivot it around. So Azu is solid. Is his like A tier material? I honestly think it's kind of in between A and B. It's definitely better than Kingler, and we put Kingler in B, so I'm putting it in A right now. It looks higher than Alakazam, which is weird, but it definitely makes sense because you see more Azu than Alakazam, to be honest, especially regular Alakazam. So yeah, I think Azu is justified in A tier. Fair enough. Good offensive Pokemon. It's just not as good as it used to be, which makes me hesitate to put in A tier. Foul Play Rough Skin? What? What's that Pokemon? It has to be like a Manibus, right? Foul Play Rough Skin remind me of Manibus. Hang on, let me turn on the fan first. It's 1 second. Okay, back. So we have Sudowoodo. Have you ever seen a Sudowoodo in PvP before? Not random battles though. That doesn't count. You get a lot of Sudowoodo there for some reason. I don't know why. Have to stand up against Groudon all the time. That's weird. Sudowoodo in random battle is not bad. Honestly, happier to see it than some of the Pokemons. You Z tiers, S tier Ambipom? No, we are far away from Ambipom. Where's the Ambipom, by the way? Is this way down here? But anyway, back to Sudowoodo. Sudowoodo with Rock Hat. Okay, so it has Hat Smash Rock Hat. Would you use it over like Aggron? I guess you could. You play in Trick Room, right? Trick Room with Sudowoodo. Strange though. It has Wood Hammer, which indicates that it has something related to a tree, but it's actually not a tree. It's a bonsai. Bonsai should be a tree, and it's grass type. So with Rock Hand and Wood Hammer, you don't take recall, right? Oh, that's great. Does it have Wood Hammer in Gen 7? I honestly forgot. If it does have Wood Hammer, it's gonna be stab, and it's gonna be super strong. But you know what does? Honestly, the Wood Hammer hits Gastrodon and Quagsire, right? Yeah, I guess. It has Rock Head. Its coverage is not great though. You gotta give it that. Stone Ash and Earthquake, sometimes it's just not enough. Oh, you hit the Rotom as well with Wood Hammer. That's nice. That's nice. Does it have Source Ends? No, right? Doesn't have Source Ends. Has Stealth Rock, I guess. But its nature is kind of weird. You know, it's super slow. You can run in Trick Room. But a rock Pokemon in Trick Room is probably not a good thing you want to see. Because Rock is weak to like Bullet Punch and Mach Punch, which are the two main common priority moves. And in Trick Room, you try to avoid getting revenge kill by those as much as possible, right? Head Smash wrong. You know, its stats are not great though. And gotta say, would you ever use it? You know, I'm just asking the same question. Would you ever use it? Why? Because you love it? Probably the only thing that can make you use it is because you remember back in the day, after passing Goldenrod, you know, you see a tree, you want to catch it. I mean, I tried to catch it first time too, but it ran away, so it left a bad impression on my mind. I still don't like this Pokemon. Ran away, and since then I just hate this Pokemon. Not like an obvious hatred, but you know, if you leave me alone with this pseudo Voodoo, I wouldn't do very well at all. You know, it's a bonsai. It's supposed to be elegant. Its competitive side is just lacking a lot. Yeah, so all you're gonna remember is Rockhead has Smash. Probably that's all. And that's not great. Consider you have Tyrantrum, you have Aggron. Those are just better. I'll put an F here just because you just can't use it. It's can't. You just can't. Hey, this thing blocked me in Alex Forest. Is it in Alex Forest? Isn't it like on the way to like a critique or like national park, right? Yeah, pretty sure it was there, and you have to come back and get the squirt bottle. Sad. This Pokemon sad. No. Very sad. Next up is Quillfish. Some of these Pokemon we don't use enough, or like we just don't use them at all. But some of those I actually think they are pretty good. It's just that I don't have the time to hunt them and use them. Quillfish is one of those that I want to try. Well, my friends tried it out. And it was pretty decent during the Z move errors. Look, it has Swift Swim, right? It has Swift Swim. It has Explosion. It has Swords Dance. It has Poison Jab. Liquidation? What's the Liquidation Waterfall? Well, either way, it has Toxic Spike. Has Pain Split. Taunt. Spike. All that stuff. Right? All that stuff. What's the ability again? Is it Intimidate? Yes, Intimidate. Yo, all of those are just good Pokemon. You know, good Pokemon. Yeah, it's good Pokemon. But what's the problem here? If you're running in Rain Team with Swift Swim, it's not as good as the other Swift Swimmer, to be fair. Let's be clear here. So the physical attacker here, we have Swampert, right? We have Kabutops. We also have Floatzel. I think it's one's better than Floatzel. Yep, 100% better than Floatzel. So I mean, you just don't use it in Rain Team. So let's put Rain Team aside. So actually, it's probably not fair for it to say it that way, because in Rain Team it actually has a niche. If you don't know, it used to bait in the Rotom. If you want to set up Spike, that is. So you just Source Dance on the switching Rotom, and then you kill Explosion. But you probably still have to predict with that, because if they know what this Pokemon does, they're probably going to switch into a Ferrothorn, which was it completely. You just have no moves to hit the Ferrothorn with. And without Z move, it's very rough. If you have Z, you're going to hit pretty hard with that +2 Hydro Vortex into a Ferrothorn. Pretty hard, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, without Z move, it's kind of lackluster. It has Spike and Toxic Spike. Let's talk about that. Spike and Toxic Spike. Good utility. And that's what makes it like a UU Pokemon back in Gen 5. Did you know that in Gen 5, Mew is like UU tier, and Quillfish also UU? That's crazy, right? That's crazy. But it evolved now, you know. Things changed. Maybe in Gen 9 it's gonna have an evolution. But right now, Quillfish seems lacking. It should be better than what they give it credit for. I think it's a very interesting Pokemon. But overall, it's just like a kind of weird Toxapex or like Tentacruel with like Spike instead of something like Rapid Spin or some interesting stuff. Doesn't have reliable recovery though. You have Pain Split. I guess Tentacruel is just the same. But this Pokemon is just weird. Is it better than Tentacruel? Well, Tentacruel has better stats. Let's just say that. It has much better stats. And it has nice utility with Rapid Spin. Also has Toxic Spike. You're gonna knock off your 1-2. This Quillfish is probably, if you want defensively, yeah, it's probably not gonna get the job done. At least in the OU environment anyway. I honestly think if you have a lower tier, it's going to do better. I don't know why I talk a lot about this Quillfish. Maybe it's because I wanted to use it, but didn't get the chance to. But anyway, it's not an F-tier Pokemon. It's not a lot of interesting things, and I think it's better than Jinx, and better than Executor, and better than Ditto. I'll put it in C. As surprising as it looks like, I'll put it in C. Maybe I'll give it a shot sometimes, you know, just sometimes. For now, it's gonna be like a low C tier. I don't think it's as good as Arcanine and Taurus, but it has many interesting stuff that I want to try out. And for that, we're gonna put in C. Oh hey, Capri is here. Yes, Screen Explode. Claydol is so good, almost as good as Electrode. Yeah, right. So it's gonna be a higher F tier than an Electrode F tier, right? Lower F tier. Yeah. Well, sometimes we're gonna do like a punishment wheel where I have to use my F tier Pokemons. Some of them might be better than what they seems like, and I'm gonna be happy by then. You know, all planned, guys, all planned. I think of it all the time. Okay. Anyway, Corsola. Quillfish is very funny in random, so I think it's super good there. Spike and Toxic Spike is just so good in random battles. Well, sometimes it doesn't do anything, yeah? Because the opponent just suddenly have a poison type Pokemon. Corsola. It has two good trade. Does it have recover? It does have recover, right? So 3 good trade. You have Stealth Rock, which is always good. You have the best ability in the game, which is Regenerator, right? 2 of those. Ah, can't be a bad Pokemon. You also have reliable recovery and recover. Bro, that's so good. Why is this Pokemon so bad? It's purely because it's typing. You're a rock type and you're a water type, and you want to play a defensive role to get rocks, and let's just come in and dip. You probably don't want to use this Pokemon. Corsola Reflect. Yeah, it does have Reflect and Light Screen. Does it have Memento? I remember it has Memento, I think. Could be wrong, but maybe I'm right. Who knows? Don't know why, but I think it has Memento. Its typing is bad. Why is the typing so bad? Water and Rock is just not a good defensive typing. If you remove the Rock type, it's gonna be very good. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it. If you remove the Rock typing, and it's just pure water with Stealth Rock and stuff, yo, this Pokemon is gonna be a star. Not sure about its stat though. Maybe not like OU, but like at least you use it in like UU, RU or something. But yeah, with the Rock typing, it's just make it worse. Why you Rock? Anyway, I mean, just that so you can use Stealth Rock. Well, you can pretty much put Stealth Rock on a non-Rock Pokemon, right? We see it all the time. You don't have to be a Rock type or like a ground type to have Stealth Rock. Even Clefable is Stealth Rock for some reason. So why you have to become a Rock type to do that, right? So yeah, no, no reason to use it. I don't think it's better than a D tier Pokemon anyway. So it's gonna be F tier. Very sad Corsola. It's actually one of my favorite Pokemons, but somehow it doesn't make the cut. We have to be honest with ourselves here. Corsola looks very cute, yeah. Yeah, it is. Don't lie to yourself. Oh, and also if you paint it blue, it's gonna be an Azumaru. It looks like a coral. Yeah, kind of weird that way. I don't know why back in the day I draw this Corsola and it just draw it blue, and with the dot and stuff it turns to an Azumaru. Who knows? Who knows? Next up, Octillery. Octillery. We used Octillery before, right? Yeah, in Trick Room team. Not that impressive, to be honest. You have better things to do. Even the Clamper is better than Octillery if you want to on in Trick Room. So it has Sniper, right? Sniper. So that's the set we run was Focus Energy, Sniper. You got Hydro Pump / Surf, Ice Beam, Energy Ball. It does have a Gunshot as well. Those are good stuff, yeah. Those are good stuff. But your book is like mediocre. It seems like it should be more bulky. When you look at the defense and its special defense, you seem like, it's not a bad Pokemon. But when you train its max HP to use in Trick Room, it seems underwhelming. And, well, you can get some, like, cool kills with it, because you do have Sniper and Focus Energy, but sometimes they are not even scared when you see an Auxiliary. It's like, well, who are you coming? Who are you using to throw in an Auxiliary? They're not scared. They're just gonna stay in and slap you in the face. And even after setting up, you probably don't kill it either. So yeah, Sniper, Focus Energy seems nice. Holding Sculpins, but it's just theory stuff. Would you actually put in work? If it works somehow, it's gonna be not Focus Energy. You're just gonna use straight and act as like a worse version of like an offensive water type. So for that reason, I'm putting an F. Honestly, it disappointed me. I thought it would do much more in Trick Room, but part of the reason is that you don't see it as often. So some of the people in PvP, they just don't know what it does. So that's why they stay in, and it accidentally becomes like a great play because they stay in. So I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. So we put it in F tier right now. Seems reasonable, to be honest. Pikachu in F tier is always a great sack for your teams. Well, I have many better sacks for my team, sir. I have like some nice sack. Even Braviary is a nice sack, nicer sack, because it's a flying type. So opponent's not gonna be able to click Earthquake that easily right before I sack the Pokemon. So if once I sack it, it's gonna become a grounded team. So just click Earthquake. Well, Pikachu, it saved me one time with the static, and it was legendary. Yeah, love the mon. The tier doesn't love it though. Okay, so let's move on to Mantine. Do you have like half? Oh, I'm just gonna do half today because I don't feel like talking a lot. Might get sore throat. So, not gonna do it. Anyway, we move on to Mantine. Honestly, Mantine, I think its only downside is a little bit passive. So when you want to dish out damage using a Mantine, it's very hard. Even when you wall the stuff that you're supposed to wall, you always feel like you don't have any firepower back. Especially, first of all, it's a nice carrier check, which is always going to be appreciated. But if the carrier turns out to be the rare substitute set, it's just going to 6-0 us. If you rely on a Mantine to check something, for example, like a Suicune, like a carrier, then it's not going to work that way. You do check them, but it has to be like the right set for that you assume that you're going to check them with. But if they change just a little bit, you accidentally enable them to sweep you. So I don't mind Mantine. I think it's a decent Pokemon. It's probably better than Lantern though, because of the defog and roost. Haze works on the sub. Yeah, it does work on the sub. But you also have to put in defog. You also put in toxic. Defog, toxic, roost, and the last move is gonna be either Scald, right? You run toxic, you run haze, and it's gonna be pretty bad because you just want to run 5 moves. If you don't run defog, then why? Why, right? It has a great move in defog. I think you run more. I think you want like 5 move on it, but you just can never fit into any of those. And whatever you're throwing out, there's gonna be one point when you regret you should have this. For example, that I said before, the substitute carry was Secret Sword, and you're just like, oh, I wish I have haze, and then you put haze and you remove toxic, and then, oh, I wish I have toxic. Yeah, it's always gonna be happen to the Mantine right here. Lovely. And yeah, well, yeah, this one 5 moves after all. Yeah, Mantine is pretty passive as well. You don't want to sit and wait, right? It's supposed to check Heat Trend as well, but for some reason, when you come in on Heat Trend, you almost die. You need to toxic you first, and the next time you come in on Rock, they Magma Storm, taunt you, and you're dead. So, Yeah, that's all about Water Absorb Mantine. Not gonna talk about Modest Swift Steam specs. I'm not gonna talk about it because it doesn't have Hurricane in Gen 7. So all you have is Air Cutter or Air Slash or something. So yeah, not great as Swift Steam user. Because it doesn't have Hurricane in Gen 7. I don't think it has it. Yeah, it doesn't have Hurricane in Gen 7. So there's no way you're using it. Even a spec developer is just superior to a Mantine. And yeah. Gen 8, yes, Gen 8 has Hurricane. And it's pretty threatening. Gen 7, no. It's a good Pokemon. I think it's decent. It's just a little bit passive. Better than C tier, honestly. So I put it in B tier. Very reliable check to Charizard. Although you have to run Toxic though. If you run Toxic, your Scald like deals no damage to the Charizard. They don't kill you either, but it's definitely not great if you want to run that. Yeah, it's just the Syndrome. It doesn't have a lot of moves to work with, but somehow you need 5 moves. It's weird. It's weird. Anyway, Donphan. Donphan. I think every time I see a Donphan, I kind of respect it, to be honest, because I can never walked through a Donphan and just say, I'm not gonna be worrying about this Donphan. Whether I ever have a Rotom, yeah, I'm not gonna suffer against this. Oh, and it's true, but I don't think I give it that look every time, you know? A Donphan is kind of annoying sometimes. It's very annoying sometimes if you want to run like a physical attacker. You know you 2-ish kill it, but you have to like shiv it down still, and then it does have Sturdy, you know, it's a ground type, so you always have to think before wall switching. And this also has Rapid Spin, Stock Rock, and Knock Off. It might be a bait or whatever that is. It's not good as it used to be, but it's definitely respectable. I think it's a respectable Pokemon with what it has to work with, and its attack stat is kind of underutilized because it has attack stat is very decent. It's super high. I think it's not super high, but like it's high. You know, it's up there. It's higher than a lot of Pokemon. So sometimes if you run defensively, you can still dish out like decent damage, and sometimes they don't expect it. It has Ice Shard, you know, sometimes came in clutch, but not a lot of time. Yeah, Donphan is a respectable Pokemon, and honestly, it's better than F and D. I'll put it in C. I don't think it's as good as Alakazam and Mantine, obviously, but it's decent. It's solid Pokemon. I put it in C. I used it recently too, and I think it was alright. I think it was alright. I'll put it in C right now. Seems like a fair tier for it. He's the GOAT. No, he's the Dawn. He's the Dawn. Donphan is always viable. It always gets something done, but not too much. Yeah, exactly. Yes, on something done, but not too much. It's like a Staraptor, but on the defensive side. Yeah, C is fair. I think C is fair. Next up we have Shiptree, another Chlorophyll user. If you don't use it in Sun, it's probably still decent. Has Source Dance. Also has Growth. Does it have Weather Ball? I think it does, right? It does have a Weather Ball, right? Locate, definitely. Leap Blade. I think it has some sort of restriction on the moveset though. It's kind of like compatible and incompatible on Pokemon Showdown. I can't remember what it is, but it seems like it has that problem, yeah? And there's... This is music. And there is a possibility. I guess Heatwave? I don't think it has Heatwave in Gen 7 though. Can you try to search Heatwave for the Gen 7 set? Because I think it's incompatible with something on Pokemon Showdown. I just can't remember, because there was a time I tried to use like Heatwave Sliptree and something popped up. I just can't remember what it is. Head Dog Pulse. Oh, Gen 8. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's why I remember it's not having like a fire type portrait. Although I'm pretty sure it has heat, some sort of stuff going for it. Okay, so Swords Dance, Dark Pulse, Sucker Punch, and also yeah, Sucker Punch is the incompatible move with some move in the set. Kind of weird. Yeah, so if you wonder why it doesn't get used that much even on Showdown, it's because some of the restrictions is weird, and some move, the Mandela effect. Now you're pretty sure this mod has like Heat Wave, but it actually didn't back in Gen 7. So yeah, some Mandela effect right there, pretty funny. What else is viability? Well, I think it has something going for it. It has Swords Dance knockoff. Swords Dance knockoff. Always gonna be good, yeah. Elite Blade, Dark Pulse. Does it have Focus Blast? Yeah, Focus Blast. Low Kick. Icy Wind. Yeah, I don't think you need Icy Wind. Probably Leaf Storm is enough, yeah. And Dark Pulse. Icy Winds hits Dragonite, Garchomp, Landorus, and all of those you can hit it pretty hard with Leaf Storm. Either Leaf Storm or Dark Pulse anyway. So yeah, Icy Wind is not really a necessary coverage for it. So Shiftry is okay. I put in D, probably better than Executor to be honest. Better than Jinx maybe. Never use it outside of Sun though, so I don't know how to judge it. But it's definitely not F tier. It has some nice qualities, you know. It's dark type. Dark typing is always good offensively. Yeah, so yeah, it's fine. I don't mind this in my team, ever. Even though I do mind the Jinx a lot, but it's still D tier. Hey, kind of get personal. But, okay, let's get to Masquerain. Masquerain is surprisingly enough, we used Masquerain before. And it was in a Rain team. Ironically speaking. Although, the only reason we used it was because my account on Gold back then didn't have anything, so I find random Pokemons in my box and I found Masquerain. Oh hey, let's make a Rain team because this Pokemon has Rain in its name, so it's got to fit a Rain team. It's kind of silly. It does work though because it has Sticky Web and it has Rain Dance, so you use Damn Rock, Rain Dance, Masquerain with like Intimidate, Max Speed, Max HP, Ruse. Weird. But I don't think it worked that well, to be honest. It weird. It was there because I didn't have Ribombi there. So yeah, no. 4-time Weeks to Rock. Stick Web is nice, but that can't be your only trait. Intimidate, yes, nice ability. What about your typing? Your typing sucks. Even your move pool is kind of weird. You have Bug Buzz. Oh, it has Quiver Dance. Yes, that's Quiver Dance. Crazy, right? Crazy. Quiver Dance. Amazing. Does it have Hurricane? No. Gen 8. Yes, it's gonna get Hurricane in Gen 8. Just like Mantine. So we have Air Slash, Quiver Dance. Yo, it's just so pathetic. Probably don't use it with Quiver Dance. Yeah, let's put an apps here. I think it's there. Oh, it reminds me of some Masquerain that I faced before. I thought they have Sash, but they turned out to be some ridiculous set. But anyway, put an apps here. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now's the big one. The Breloom. The Breloom. I love Breloom. I think it's underestimated. Sometimes people think that if you run Breloom, you're gonna get warped by a lot of stuff with your usual set. Like, you know, you run Rock Tomb, you get warped by Zapdos. They assume you're gonna get warped by Skarmory, right? Assume you're gonna get warped by Amoonguss, and also Tangrowth. Those are a lot of common mons in PvP. But out of all those, there's only one thing that is a true counter, which is Amoonguss. And Amoonguss is not technically a star in every team ever, so you don't see it that often. So Breloom, kind of like a Volcarona. So when it pops up, it just kills everything. When it doesn't pop up, well, it's not like a Volcarona though, because Well, if you use it in balancing Volcarona, well, I guess the matchup thing is right, but with Volcarona, if you don't do anything, you probably don't do anything for the rest of the game. Volcarona is hit or miss, but Breloom is different. You can always make it work. For example, I love running superpower on Breloom, so after a Sword Sand and Life Orb, I just punch the Tangrowth in the face, KOing Skarmory. Sometimes you see a random Manibus trying to tank you and just punch them in the face. Zapdos is no exception, die to Rock Tomb. Tornadus is a nice scout. I think their problem in the game right now is that they always assume that it has to have Spore, and Spore is actually the least used move on my set. I don't know about other people, they probably prioritize Spore. Some might even say that if you don't use Spore on Breloom, what are you doing with it? Isn't it its main feature? Yes, Spore is a very strong move, and because it has Spore, I can be free to run superpower, and also making them think that I have Spore at the same time, so they switch around and do into Tangrowth and Skarmory and stuff, and that's actually their downfall. With Life Orb, Superpower plus 2 Sword Sands, I just kills everything. Even Amoonguss take like 60-70%, so if they're not careful, I'm just gonna kill them when they are pretty low and decently, once they get burned and knock off, it's gonna be much better for me to punch them in the face. And Breloom, I honestly think it doesn't get much credit, and I think it's a strong Pokemon. So it's definitely A tier. I was speaking like it was about to put in S tier to be honest, but no, yeah, I know the difference between S tier and A tier. I just think they're strong. It doesn't get enough credit from people, but an A tier is good enough for it. And every time we use it, it did wonders. It just killed everything. It kills like 50% of the Pokemons in that particular video every time we use it. And sometimes we bring the False Swiper Breloom into PP. Actually did it twice already with the False Swipe, Spore, Cut, and False Swipe. Not False Swipe, Cut, Headbutt, yes, and we still won. That's how scary it is, guys. False Swiper Breloom, which is OP. But anyway, yeah, let's put in A tier. Very good False Swiper. Yep, remind me to make a tier list for False Swiper. Probably don't do that, yeah. Yeah, probably don't do that. But yeah. Okay, yeah, that's done with Big Breloom. And let's move on to Vigoroth. We have both Vigoroth and Slacking. Yeah, they are just two different Pokemons. One is very energetic, the other one just slacking. Yes, slacking, same thing. Okay, so we have Vigoroth. 1 year ago, I actually did have a plan of using this in PvP, and after testing out a bunch of teams, and because I did want to make it work so badly, that I went out my way to build a lot of teams of this Pokemon. But I never recorded it because I just think that it's very hard to make it work. You have the Violet set. Most people probably doesn't know about this Pokemon, but it has a set that is very funny. You have Body Slam, you're gonna run Earthquake, but normally you will have a mono Body Slam set with Bulk Up, Body Slam, Taunt, and then Slack Off. You 6-0 stall with that set, which is kind of crazy in and of itself. But that's only on paper. In reality, to find a stall team is not that easy. Especially nowadays, if you want to find offense, you're gonna see a lot of offense. It's much easier. Find stall team? Yeah, sure. I mean, you can find some stall team, and once you found it, oh yeah, I have Vigoroth. But it only beats stall on paper. Just because you have Taunt. But in reality, you have to deal with the Amoonguss, which has Clear Smocks for, taunting, doing like bare minimum. You have to Body Slam to paralyze the Amoonguss, and you also have to taunt the Skarmory on the right turn. You are fast, but if you invest in speed, you're gonna be slower than a lot of sorry. a lot of common target mon in other teams, other than Star, right? So it's tough. I mean, it's tough to make it work. It's that interesting thing going for it, but it's tough. If I liked, you know, who doesn't want like a mon who 6 star, right? In the right circumstances. But you probably need more PP than just Body Slam. Body Slam at 24, but against Star team, you're gonna run out of it pretty soon. And with the amount of Rocky Helmet, Skarmory, and all that stuff, and you have this taunt in the right turn too, they just keep switching between two regenerated mons, and they can also burn you with the Alamomola with Scald, and then you just get shut down. So yeah, better on paper. Never actually made it work though. Unfortunately, I wanted it to be better, but it has to be F tier. Anyone still wondering why there's a Vigoroth here? Yep, kind of got your answer there. Anyway, let's move on to Slaking. Reshhog is saying I can already see Slaking in F tier. No, it's not gonna be in F tier. I'm telling you that right now. It's not gonna be F tier. Even though it's a meme, but it's not gonna be F tier because we used it before, and there is a particular team which is a semi-star team that a lot of my friends use it in a tournament, and they actually work wonders. I put Vigoroth in the list so I can put it in the lowest tier. Why would you do that to yourself? So Slaking right here in a semi-star team with the Mega Servo and stuff, I think that team is like very efficient. The reason why Slaking is barely usable is obviously its ability, right? Truant. And it's very dangerous nowadays too against an offense team. If you just kill something and then they come in with something and then they sell up, you probably gonna be in the back foot already. And if your team is some sort of like a balanced team, you don't like using it that much, to be fair. Someone actually asked me before, why didn't you use like Retaliate on this Pokemon, right? Retaliate is when your Pokemon gets knocked out and you put, you throw in a Slaking, and you click Retaliate, its base power is going to become 140. The reason why it's a bad move on it, is because Slacking, the nature of the Slacking team, if you want to use it, you have to play aggressively, and you need to trade kills to your opponent. You need to make sure you make every prediction right with the Slacking, because if you make it wrong, it's just gonna die, right? For example, Giga Impact into a Ferrothorn, or like Double Edge into a Rocky Helmet stuff. You need to click Fire Punch on the right time, Giga Impact on the right time, and once you do that, you are basically on a trading kills term of stuff, system, whatever. So you have to get more kills on your opponent all the time, and obviously in that type of matchup, it's gonna be aggressive between you and your opponent. You just all out into each other. So Retaliate, as good as it is as a move, so after using it, you're gonna get Truant, right? And if it's an offensive matchup, which usually happens if you want to trade kills and stuff, then your team is gonna get blown away by just one Truant, and your team is just dead. So it's basically not a good premise to do Retaliate on this Pokemon. It's just the nature of the team. It has nothing to do with the move itself. It's just Truant, it's just Truant. So to use it, you need to have like backbones, a lot of backbones, so that you don't just get swept right away after you use a move and kill something with your right prediction, by the way. If you predict wrong, you're selecting just that, and your team becomes a stall team. It's basically just a semi-stall team, but there's a Slacking right there. So with defensive backbones, it did alright. Not the best. Honestly, you could have like a better Pokemon in that space, but it does something. So I'm putting it in D tier. It's not as impressive, but it does something. And once it happens, you're going to be very happy about it. It's better than getting a kill and then you get 5-0 anyway, right? That's just what happens usually if you use Slacking without backbones, that's all. So yeah, D tier, fine. Not that bad. Not that F tier anyway. So yeah, this year. Okay, so Dell Caddy. What's the nicest thing about this Pokemon? Is that its Christmas form looks pretty nice. With Skitty. Yeah, that's my only impression of it. What does it have? Its ability is garbage. Normalize. Normalize so bad. At least buff the damage. You know, with refrigerate. Refrigerate, aerate, pixelate. They buff the damage by 20%. This normalize just makes every move become, you know, normal type. And it doesn't even buff the damage. What was the bias here? What? Who? Who hates cats? Who doesn't like cats? Maybe dog person. Gotta fire that guy. But yeah, who hates cats? Who's just putting this cat in the trash can right now? But basically, what is that? Normalize, bad ability, fake out, Thunder Wave, Double Lash. What else? I can't even think of a fourth move. That's strange. But yeah, F-Tier. Not much to say about this Pokemon. I think it's worse than Raichu, so definitely down there. Yeah. Can Thunder Wave round type. Might as well have Glare then. Yes, Thunder Wave ground type. But it can't hit ghost type with Sucker Punch, yeah, because it turns to normal type. yeah, can't even Sucker Punch Ghost type. It turns to normal typing. That's weird. I guess you have a 70 base power, normal type move, priority. Yeah. Why not extreme speed though, man? Disappointment. Yeah, F. Next up we have Magnetric and also Mega Magnetric. How about regular Magnetric? Let's talk about that first. If you have like a PU tier, it might actually not bad. What does it have? Flamethrower, nice coverage. Flamethrower also nice, you know. You could have Hidden Power Ice because everyone hunt Hidden Power Ice anyway. With that being said, if you are one of those, everyone, you don't use Magnetric. Why? Why use Magnetric? When you have a Mega Magnetric, it's sort of like Alakazam, but it's more, it's much lower. And, they have Grass Knot? Does it have Grass Knot? It does, right? Signal Beam, yeah, it does have Signal Beam. And it has one important move that is Switcheroo, which can let it like cripple Chansey and stuff, Blissey. So it has something to play with, but outclass, that's for sure. Like, yeah, if you ask 100 people, 101 people is gonna tell you to get outclassed by its own mega form. That's a no surprise. Its speed is decent, 339, right? 339. So that speed tier is kind of nice. Special attack is okay if you consider its tier being either D or F. So it having Switcheroo makes me think Switcheroo and Flamethrower most likely. Yeah, and Flamethrower Switcheroo is just too nice move. Make me think that it should be D tier. I wouldn't say that it's better than the Slicking or maybe the Shipshoot right here, but yeah, it seems like it's pretty much on par with this. Don't compare with Ditto. Ditto is just its viability based on the opponent's team, so it's a weird Pokemon. I can't put it in F tier just because it's actually a universal Pokemon. Put it in any team, maybe doesn't guarantee to work all the time, but yeah. Okay, this one in D tier, fair enough. It already says Spec and Scarf. Yeah, I think so because it has Switcheroo. If you don't use Switcheroo, then you accidentally like just remove one is good move. So yeah, D tier. Magnetric is here. This is actually sad. Magnetric is sad. Why? These days is harder than the past. When it's newly released, it's actually one of the best mega in the game. Have Volt Switch, good. Flamethrower, Basically a regular Magnetric. Hidden Power Ice. Intimidates. Great ability. It checks Scizor. It checks Weavile. Its speed is nice. It doesn't actually have a bad matchup per se, even against all, and even against like thing like a ground type, except for like Gastrodon or Quagsire. Maybe you still have options, such as Volt Switch. You just Volt Switch around, getting momentum. Yeah, honestly, it's always gonna be good. You know, no matter how you look at it, it's always gonna be a good Mega with the quality it has. Its damage is the problem. Has low base special attack. Well, you can't say it's low, but like compared to other special attacker as a Mega, then it's certainly underwhelming. You all wish that it has high special attack. I mean, come on, you can't even KO like a Volcarona after Stop Rock with like max special attack unless you're modest maybe. That's pretty rough. Doesn't even the 2-ish kill Clefable with it doesn't even 2-ish kill Clefable. So the damage low because make sure you use that part. Well, maybe, but if you put it in a calc, it's like a bad roll for you. Put it in a calc, and it's still a bad roll for you. Not even to mention the leftovers. So yeah, it's always gonna be a good Pokemon. Honestly, I think it's better than the B tier Pokemon. It's not crazy though. It's not crazy. I think it's falling off pretty soon. But for now, probably still good enough. People started to realize that you can use Tyranitar to like Pursuit it, and it's gonna take a lot of damage from Pursuit. That's some of the issue with this Pokemon. And you also have to predict sometimes too. You just can't blindly click Volt Switch. Although they would have to predict as well, but they usually survive one hit. So they have like a free prediction. So yeah, it is somewhere between B and A. Can't say that it's good, like crazy A tier like a Breloom. Maybe it's more like an Azumaru. So I'm putting B tier. Good, you know. Always gonna be a good Pokemon, no matter what you look at right now. But yeah, okay. Put in A. Time to make an A+. Yeah, we could devise it into stuff like that, but I tried not to make it as complicated as it should be. Like a real viability ranking we did with the council, right? With Joro Mix. That one I like the concept of like plus and and minus, but in a simple tier list for a video, you shouldn't have that many tiers, because when they look at it, they're gonna get confused, or like the eyes cannot comprehend something like that. It's just human nature. It just looks weird. So S, A, B, C, D, and F just makes sense. I used to have an E tier as well, but then I just look at my screen and then it doesn't look as nice. I mean, there's something weird about this thing. So yeah, let's put it this way. If they watch the video, they should know, right? They should know. They're gonna know what Pokemon is considerably plus or like minus or something. But yeah. Speaking of plus and minus, what a coincidence! We have plus and minus. Are you Asheron? You into math? Quick work. Oh hey, Volbeat, Illumise. Did you know this Pokemon is called Illumise instead of Illumise, that people usually call it? Illumise it's not Illumise, it's Illumise. Okay, good. Quick F tier. Speedrun. Yes. If Volbeat still has Baton Pass, then I might bump it up. Volbeat was my favorite all-time Baton Passer just because of Tail Glow. It was so funny when I start playing Pokemon. This is my go-to Baton Passer, and over time, you know, you start to adapt. You start to adapt things a little bit better, so you don't use Volbeat anymore. But it was fun. Cool. It was fun. Prankster Encore OP. Well, if only it's like Gen 6 when you don't get blocked by a Dark type. Oh, you know, just Bug Buzz it, but you don't even 2-ish kill a Weavile. That's weird though. Yeah. Weird stuff. Prankster Encore. Sounds like a Whimsicott, but it's worse, right? But anyway. Let's just do the Shopidos, and then we're gonna end the stream. Shopido. Good Pokemon. How about regular Shopido? Have you used regular Shopido before? When there wasn't Mega. Duh. So, if you run it, I think running Ice Beam is better than Ice Fang. Because there are a lot of rocky helmets around, and you don't want to be throwing moves on the wrong target. So Ice Beam, even Ice Beam deals more damage to Landorus and Garchomp than Ice Fang, to be fair. Oh, hello Stefan. A little bit late though. I'm about to end it. So well, Shopido has speed boost, always nice. You can protect to buff it. He also has Psychic Fang. Psychic Fang is coded now. It's OP. Well, yeah, sure. Water, Crunch. Waterfall, Crunch. Liquidation if you want to, but Waterfall is just a better move. Destiny Bond. Can't forget about Destiny Bond. So, what about this? This Pokemon might be... I know that it's not a D tier. And I know it's not B tier. So it has to be C tier. Process of elimination. What about it? It has good good quality. Its attack is just good, you know, decent. Like 370 or something. But compared to its Mega Form, well, it is very important for its Mega Form, right? Imagine Shopido not having Speed Boost, then its Mega Form is going to be much worse. So this is the first time the Mega Form just rely on the regular form to perform better, right? Imagine not having Speed Boost as a non-Mega. This Mega is going to be much worse. So Shopido is an important piece of the Mega. Nice attack stat, good speed, decent speed with Speed Boost. Dish out decent damage. Could be the king of low tier, but in OU it's not cutting it. Does have a Destiny Bond, you can cheese it. So overall, yeah, it's as good as a Taurus could be. Maybe better, even better. Who knows? It's pretty frail though. Get a revenge kill and Mach Punch maybe. Quote unquote, just Mach Punch it. So yeah, cool. C tier. I'm cool with it. C tier. You need Rattata up there. Rattata is a common Pokemon. In the last video, I put it there. Anyway, last Pokemon we're gonna do today is a Mega Shopido. And this is well, yeah, as I said before, its regular form is just very essential for it. The Shopido maybe last year, if I made it till this last year, it's gonna be A tier. But over time, it's not actually a strong gimmick anymore. It's usually much quicker in getting kills back in the day, but nowadays you kind of face some problem, especially with the amount of like Zapdos around, and you crunch the Zapdos and then you get paralyzed. Although you do kill it if you chip it down enough, like a Stealth Rock and perhaps like a Sandstorm damage, you probably kill it. Absolute Rock. But well, it's just sad. I mean, this Pokemon is just sad nowadays. Back in the day, I even think that it's better than Gyarados, but now not anymore. Still my favorite Mega though. One of my favorite anyway, but it's not cutting it. It's probably better than its regular form, even though the speed boost is essential. If you remove speed boost, just gonna be a C tier Pokemon. But yeah, strong jaw, strong, psychic fang, crunch, ice fang. I'm just reminiscing my past right now with all the kills I have with the Shopido, and just cry over it not being that good these days anymore. Kind of like Beedrill actually. So we put Beedrill in B. This should be a B tier Mega, just slightly better than this regular form. And yeah, so okay, so I guess we are done with today. We're gonna finish the list probably tomorrow. I don't know, whenever I have time, I guess. But we're gonna continue with this for sure.